guys, so I'm here today because I'm having a good hair day, so I wanted to film a video. Is that slightly ridiculous? Just slightly. So I had to film my top 10 favorite eyeshadows. And by favorite, I mean my most used eyeshadows, because this is what I reach for most. So okay, my goal was to pick my top 10, but I'm picking 11 because I'm a freaking cheater. Deal with it. There's only one drugstore eyeshadow in here, and it's not to say that I don't like drugstore eyeshadows and they're not the same quality as the other eyeshadows that are listed in here, which are MAC, Urban Decay, and Ben Nye, but it's just that I reach for things that are in palettes. I have 4 palettes that I reach for on a daily basis, and if it's not in there, I just won't use it. I just don't like the idea of eyeshadow singles. Like, I don't know, I just never reach for them, so I wouldn't say they aren't good, I just don't use them very often, therefore they're not my favorites. So I'm going to start with my One Little Lonely drugstore eyeshadow. This is Wet n Wild's Nutty. It is a color icon. It comes in a container like this. This is Envy by Wet n Wild. I just depotted it because it's one of my most loved eyeshadows, so I put it in my MAC palette, which I have taken the dividers out of because, again, I won't reach for it if it's not in a single. So this is a gorgeous taupe with a little bit of like a bluey silver duochrome to it. It's so beautiful. This is one of those colors that you can put all over the lid and work it into your crease, and it looks like you're wearing 2 different eyeshadows. It's fantastic, and it's like $2 at the drugstore. If you love taupe, you need this eyeshadow in your life. Trust me. So next I'll do my MAC eyeshadows. I have 4 MAC eyeshadows, and they're all very simple. My most used MAC eyeshadow is Blanc Type. This is what it looks like. It is just a matte, off-white, kind of pink undertoned cream color. It's really beautiful. It's super pigmented, if you can see there. I just love this. I despise shimmery brow bone highlights. So I use this color every single day for a highlight. It's just so pigmented. It's amazing. This is my only MAC eyeshadow with that big of a dent in it. My next favorite eyeshadow from MAC is Naked Lunch. I don't know what this is. I think it's a satin. It might be a shimmer or something. It might be a frost. I'm wearing it on my lids today. I find this color is slightly difficult to use. I think it's best if you use a stiffer brush. So I like to use my Sigma E60. It's a large shader brush, and it's a lot stiffer than most brushes, or even something like a concealer brush will work well with this, because it's hard to pick up product in this for some reason. I don't know if it's just my Naked Lunch or if that's the color in general, but I find it a little bit difficult to work with. But once you get it on the lid, it has like this beautiful pink iridescence to it. It's amazing. I love this color. So if I swatch it, it won't show up very well on my finger for some reason. It's this here. But it's just one of those perfect, like, everyday, all over the lid champagne colors, and I like it because it's pink toned, and I like pink toned things, not cool toned things. My next favorite color is a limited edition color. This is the only thing that's limited edition in here, so, like, go me, that's pretty good. This is Modelette. It is basically a very light, slightly warm toned brown. This is a satin. I don't remember what collection this came out with, but I got this at the MAC or the Estee Lauder warehouse sale, and it's beautiful. This is what it looks like. It's on my middle finger here. I use this for a transition color. Normally I would only use mattes for transition colors, but this satin is like very lightly satin, so you can't really tell it's a satin, so it's like the perfect transition color. I use it every day. If you can't find Modelette, for people like my skin tone, I also find that Naked is a very good substitute for a transition color. It's just a little bit too deep for me. And if you're lighter than me, Ben Nye's Au Naturel will be the perfect transition color for you. To me, it seems like it's a dupe for like MAC's Kid. I've never used Kid, but they look kind of similar to me, so yeah. And then my last MAC favorite is, of course, Satin Taupe. I believe this is also a frost, and it's just the most beautiful taupe color. I just want to swatch it next to Nutty so you can see the difference. So this is Satin Taupe on my finger here, so it's a much darker taupe color, and this is Nutty, so it's much lighter taupe color. So you can see how Nutty would be nice all over the lid color, and Satin Taupe would be more of a crease color. I'm wearing it in my crease today very lightly. I went for like a very neutral eye this morning because I was running late, and my like go-to if I have no time is, I'm pretty much sure I put Modelette as a transition color, Satin Taupe in the crease, and Naked Lunch all over the lid, and that was my eyeshadow today. So as you can tell, I actually do use these colors all the time. But Satin Taupe is like a favorite. Satin Taupe and Naked Lunch were actually the first 2 MAC eyeshadows I ever bought. I bought them together. They work well together. I love them. So I have 4 favorite colors from Urban Decay. I actually have 3 from the Naked palette, and then 1 from the Naked 2 palette. I kind of assumed I would like the Naked 2 palette more, but I just love the Naked palette more. I find that the color selection is much wider, so it's a lot of lights, there's mediums, and there's darks, whereas I find that the Naked 2 is lots of mediums, like a light, and like a lot of darks, or like, I guess there's only 2 darks, I don't know. I just like this one better. So my first favorite is Sin, which is a light shimmery kind of off pink kind of a color. It's this color here on my middle finger. This is a beautiful all over the lid color. If you can't get your hands on Naked Lunch, or if you have the Naked 1 palette, you probably don't need both, but I do think they have a very different finish to them, and I love Sin. And you can also get Sin by itself. I believe you can get all of these colors on their own. My next favorite color is Buck. It is just this really nice, like medium toned matte brown. This is like my perfect crease color, so when I'm doing a smoky or like a neutral eye and I put Naked as my transition color, I put Buck as my crease color, and it just looks fantastic. My next favorite is Hustle, which is just this really beautiful, it's like a dark kind of purple toned brown. Once you swatched it, it looks very brown toned. If you have the Naked 2 palette, Busted is very similar. This is them next to each other. Hustle is on the top and Busted is on the bottom. They're beautiful colors. And at the same time, Dark Horse, which is down here, is also very similar. I really don't think you need all 3 of these colors. They're all so similar. Dark Horse is a little bit lighter, and Hustle has a bit more of a golden duochrome than Busted does, but Hustle's my favorite out of the 3. I don't know why. I think it's just because I like discovered it first, so it has the biggest dent in my palette. That's kind of how I go by figuring out what my favorite eyeshadows are, is whatever has the biggest dent wins. And then my one favorite eyeshadow from the Naked 2 palette is the matte eyeshadow in it. This is called Tease. It's this color here. Oh my god, I lied. It's this color here. It's this color here. It is a matte kind of mauve-y color. It reminds me very much of Copper Plate, but it's more purple tone, which is why I didn't include Copper Plate in this video, because I do like this one more than Copper Plate. I did a tutorial using this eyeshadow. It was pretty much just this eyeshadow with a little bit of something darker in the crease, and like a brick toned red lip, and it looked gorgeous. I will link that in the down bar because I love that tutorial. But it's just a nice matte kind of plummy gray color, which looks so beautiful in the crease, especially if you have like warmer skin tones. I think it's gonna look gorgeous. And by warmer skin tones, I mean cooler skin tones. Awkward. So my last 2 favorites are from my Ben Nye palette, because I love me some Ben Nye. So my first favorite eyeshadow from Ben Nye is this one, which is called Smoky Taupe. Do you see a trend here that I'm kind of obsessed with taupe eyeshadows? It again it reminds me of Copper Plate, but darker and deeper than Copper Plate. It's like a browny gray kind of matte color. My other trend in this video apparently is that I love matte eyeshadows, which is not shocking to me. I'm obsessed with matte eyeshadows. They just add so much dimension to the crease. I love them. And then my last favorite, I don't use as much as the other ones, but I do love this color. This is called Brown Berry, and it's such a beautiful rosy kind of mauve color. This is what it looks like here. It looks so beautiful. I love this color in the crease. And I usually put a little bit of sketch in with it, and oh my god, it's just beautiful. It looks so pretty with Naked Lunch all over the lid, or Sin all over the lid, something like that. It's just kind of like a more of like a rosy kind of look. It's so beautiful. I love this color. It's just so unique. Like, I don't know where else you're gonna find a matte, like, rosy red color. It's so weird. I love this color. So that is my top 10 favorite or most used eyeshadows, which was actually a lot easier to narrow down than I thought it was going to be. It's actually 11 eyeshadows, not 10, but shh, don't tell anybody. No one's keeping track. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.